Hello, welcome to another episode of Off the Pitch. I'm Killen, your host and referee, and today I'm joined by, and I'll go by Champions League winners today.
Oh, yeah.
Pulley, Man United, 3 times.
Hello.
Chelsea, 2 times.
Up Chelsea, only team in London.
Right. Time to get on with the show.
Not even introduced.
Only joking. Now, as you like to call yourself, the curly haired twat from East London.
Yeah.
Here's Arsenal.
Trademark.
No trophies yet, but still in the competition. So
Only one
with a chance. Right. Been a busy game week 33, and I'm sure George is probably the happiest out of everyone here.
I mean, finally, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Boston.
Manu drawing first. Liverpool losing. Arsenal losing. So Man City are atop. Clear top.
Spurs 4-0.
Spurs as well.
That's actually probably the highlight of the weekend. No,
well, Chelsea 6-0.
Let's just walk
Nobody
through.
likes Chelsea.
We started off with the 12 o'clock early kickoff, 12:30 early kickoff, and Tottenham get dispatched by 4. Fantastic. We're into it. It's going to be a good week. Next thing you know, you watch United Bournemouth. By the way, you should have got absolutely drilled by them. You were terrible from the start. You got a dodgy penalty, and you should.
You
had a dodgy penalty, and that is never a pen. And then you also should have had that. Bournemouth should have had a penalty at the end because that carried on into the box.
that carried over into the box. I mean,
100%.
How many times I'm going to see United get decisions?
Yeah, but it's where it starts. It's where it's initiated.
No, it's not. It's where it finishes. It's the rule.
Yeah, but you could always finish it in the box. You just carry the guy on your back and go in the box.
So that was great.
And it was a clear penalty.
Then we get the Liverpool game. That was another quality one. The amount of chances they missed, by the way. Salah missed a sitter, Nunes sitter.
It should have been an easy win for them. But
Nunes misses
first half, you could have been 2-3 down there.
Yeah.
First half, Palace were decent. And then the Arsenal game, fantastic. You also were actually very good in the first half, in fairness.
We were,
I thought first half. Yeah, but then second half, it looked like you were nervous. I thought the whole of the second half, it looked like a team that was feeling the pressure, which is great to see, same as last year. And then 6-0 Chelsea, Cole Palmer masterclass. You couldn't really write it any better.
George has been taking some illegal substance, or he's gone full Colombian coffee on this one. Jesus.
Talking of Palmer, absolutely phenomenal. 4 goals, a perfect hat trick. Yep. He's only one of
28 minutes.
Only one penalty. That's rare for him. One penalty.
He's only one of 36 in the Premier League to have done that. Alongside
quickest ever perfect hat trick in the Premier League.
Oh God, are we compartmentalizing it that much? Quickest.
Well, I think
perfect.
Penalty. Let's break it
Next,
down.
You'll be telling
your
me
two start boys. Marcus Rashford, 0.
He's in good company then. Marcus fucking Rashford.
Saka, 0 Premier League hat tricks. Cole Palmer, 2 hat tricks in back-to-back home games.
Oh, so okay, broken clocks right twice a day. Yeah, I'd rather win. I don't know.
How the hell does that relate?
I don't know. I'm just clutching at straws here.
No, I think you got to tip your hat to him, haven't you?
Bollocks. I'd rather score 1 goal 7 games than 4 goals in one game. Cantona was the best at it. He'd always score the winner. And look how far back I have to go. This is embarrassing.
I have to agree there.
He'd always get the winner. Get that 1 goal that was decisive. The question isn't how many goals he scores. How many points does he win? I
mean, Eddie and Ketty
he's just won us 3 points against United. He won us 3 points against United with 2 of those goals in the 98th, 100th minute.
That was so terrible. They've actually given that to next season because it wasn't included in that game. Right? That's how.
I also think you could give him yesterday's 3 points because he made it 3-0 in 28 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's 6 points. Do you want me to carry on? He got us a last-minute penalty against Man City. He's a baller.
Proves my point. That's exactly what I'm saying. He's a great player. No.
Talking of penalties. Look, 6-0, probably one of the best games that Chelsea have played this season. Palmer 4 goals. He's joint top goal scorer. However, the whole penalty debate has ruined it and has just made the whole game embarrassing.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing.
But surely, and
no, this is Pochettino's fault. This has happened, I think, now on 4 separate occasions for penalties. Sterling's tried to take it off him twice. He got it off him for the Leicester game and missed it. ManUtd tried to take the penalty off him in the United game in the last minute. It's like, mate, you've not taken a penalty. You took 1 penalty against AFC Wimbledon, and you want to take a penalty in the 98th minute. Just Palmer's a penalty taker. He takes the penalties. But the reason that this is going on is because Poch hasn't said that up until now. He said we've got 3-4 penalty takers, and they decide who does it. He's finally said, okay, Palmer's our taker. But
is it not on Conor Gallagher to step in though when they are pushing and shoving and him going?
But he did.
I know he did eventually, but
was it Michael Jackson who was trying to result? Was Michael Jackson trying to steal the ball off the?
He was involved. He was involved as well. He's also pretty young. But
obviously, really, didn't it? That whole.
But you know what?
It was stupid.
The positive from that, Palmer got the ball, took the penalty. So that will be the making. Like, he scored it. So next time he's got a bit more weight around fighting for the pen.
Yeah,
he hasn't missed a penalty.
Poch back to him now.
I don't think he's missed a penalty.
He's not missed a pen.
So he just needs to keep. Look, in a way, on the flip side, I know everybody's saying it's childish. Yeah, it is. They should have sorted it. But this will be the making of Palmer being the number 1 striker. If he keeps doing it, it might kill off a few of the others. But if he's saying, no, I'm the penalty taker, it will strengthen his resolve. I don't think it's as bad as everyone's making out to be. I'm not saying it wasn't hilarious to watch.
It's the pushing. It's all the pushing.
It's a playground. It's a playground.
Look at, and look, I don't want to be like a Liverpool fan making it all about us, but look at Arsenal, right? They want to. When Kai Havertz first came and he was struggling for a bit of form, we got a penalty, and the boys went, "Yeah, Kai, you take this one, mate." Do you know what I mean? Get yourself a goal.
Yeah.
A bit of confidence.
Charity FC.
Sometimes bit over to Odegaard. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a team spirit there. That stinks. With Chelsea, you just think, you know,
it's a bunch of young players.
You know what I mean? That's like,
But I think Palmer's going for the golden boot. Let him take the penalty. I think
exactly.
Well, he's a penalty taker. It ends there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is Arsenal are doing it with the title.
Yeah. Secondly, I'm saying that he's up for golden boot. To take it away from Haaland for the season that Chelsea have would be incredible for them.
Yeah. It would be.
How close is the scoring?
Well, he's top with assists. They're both on 20, but he's got 8 assists, so he's like the second highest man of assists in the league as well. I think
Haaland's got 20 goals.
They're both on 20 goals.
Yeah, both on 20. Yeah.
It felt like he'd scored more. I don't know.
He was injured for a few games. Actually, he's not been as prolific.
Well, you reckon they've missed a few? Yeah.
No, it just always feels like.
I think he got a couple against Luton last week. I don't think they added those on the charts. I think they just docked those ones up.
I think they never include the ones he gets every game against United. Just discount those.
Right now, probably a hot topic. Pierce, Arsenal losing 2-0 at home, especially with watching Liverpool lose beforehand.
It was really gutting because, again, I get carried away like most football fans, but after that Liverpool result, and I actually watched the Liverpool game with my girlfriend's dad, and he's Liverpool, and he was gutted. He didn't want to talk to anyone afterwards. And I was smugly thinking to myself, 2-horse race there, Arsenal City again. It's getting a bit boring, this, isn't it? Arsenal City heads up. But Do you know what? And I'll say this as well. I think there's some bad football fans out there. Certain clubs, Chelsea United, case in point, Exhibit A and B on this. But Arsenal fans are up there as some of the worst. Like, so fickle, so reactive. Stadium thinned out at 2-0. Everyone went home. And I haven't got a massive problem with that. It's a late game on a Sunday. But there were people booing. And I thought, boys, this is the first game we've lost this year. Like, we've been unbelievable. We've been battering teams. We went away to Brighton a couple of weeks ago. 3-0, battered them. I think the only points we dropped in the league this year was at City, at the Etihad. We stopped them from scoring. They've scored there for 50-odd games in a row. Like, I think some context is needed. And, you know, we're playing a lot of football at the minute. We're playing every 3 days. And listen, Villa, we've got left to play.
I don't think Villa get enough credit.
Yeah,
absolutely. We said this last week.
Coach, but look, we didn't bury our chances in the first half. Martinez made a couple of good saves, and you get punished, didn't you, at this level? And like I say, Villa are a good side. Yeah,
you look nervous in the second. I thought,
isn't it? You just got to. It's a little bit easier to deal with because the games come so thick and fast. You just got to put that behind you. We've got Bayern tomorrow. We've got Wolves away on Saturday. The problem is now our season could be over in the space of 3 days because if we go and lose to Bayern tomorrow and then on Saturday we go Wolves away and lose that, all of a sudden, you know, that's the end of the season for us.
This is where you'll see if you progress as a team because you look nervous second half against Villa. That would happen for everyone. It's about this time last year you capitulated. Do you go to Bayern, put in at least a good performance? Like a solid performance. You don't necessarily have to go through to like show that you progress. Just a solid, really solid performance. Not just go there, look nervous, cagey, and then can you go to Wolves and can you get 3 points there and look confident? And an easy 3 points, a 3-0 or something, a 3-1, just to show that you.
Yeah, it's how you bounce back. I mean, I said it from the start. When at the start of April, I said, look, this is when we see what the boys are made of because you know what I mean. We play every 3 days. I mean, we've got. I mentioned it last time we met. We play Tottenham in a couple of weeks. We play 4 times between now and then.
Yeah,
including the Villa game, and they haven't got a game. Like there's so many games, they're coming thick and fast. It's about how you bounce back now. So look, it stung because we could have gone and stayed top. But listen, if City draw a game and we win a game, we're back top. So it's not, you know, it's not
over
just yet.
It's not over.
But it's nowhere near over.
No, but it quite quickly could be when you're trying to go toe to toe with City and they just relentlessly just slap teams every weekend. It's when you're going up against a team that spent £2 billion and they're financially doped and they've got £100 million player for every position.
Yeah, sound like Liverpool fans now. Jamie Carragher on the line.
No, he's right. But let me just go back. Like Villa, first game of the season, they lost 5-1, right, at Newcastle. Fergie was on after the first round of games, and he actually said Villa were the most impressive team that he'd seen. That Newcastle had about 6 chances and they scored 5 of them. And I think that Emery isn't getting the credit the job he's doing. And Pierce, you'd already had Villa as one of the key tough games, right? And Villa, Emery's just got this knack of getting this type of stuff done. I wouldn't be surprised if they go and win the Conference League and get 4th. Because he's that type of manager. Like, for the right club, I think we mentioned it last week, right? For the right club, Emery, he does fantastic. And I think there's almost the Arsenal fans booing, and this is what comes with success, right? I noticed they weren't as loud either because they've gone from pushing the team on to expecting the team, like waiting for them to entertain. And this is when the Arsenal need the fans behind them to give them that extra.
The atmosphere I've got season tickets. I'm there every week, and the atmosphere and the sort of vibe in the stadium. Last season, we were kind of exceeding expectations, so everyone was getting a real buzz out of it.
Exactly.
We were coming from behind and winning last minute, and we were kind of had to pinch ourselves that we were going, well ahead of schedule here. No one expected us to be up there. And just within one season of playing that well, I remember the first game of this season when Arteta was sort of tinkering with it. He had Thomas Partey at right back. Gabriel got dropped for whatever reason. All of a sudden, it was like, well, come on then. We have to win every game now because you did it last season. Do it again this season. And it, like I say, I think it goes back to football fans being really fickle, and Arsenal fans are up there with worse. I'll admit that.
Arsenal fans have been notoriously fickle. It's like the whole leave thing. You're in the middle of a title fight. You know the Premier League, you can get about 10 minutes at a time, and the stadium was literally like, it looked from the TV that it was almost half empty.
Yeah,
which is shocking.
Yeah,
and I even saw people saying Arteta out. It's like, you've been in the title fight now 2 years in a row. When was the last time Arsenal were in a title fight? 20 years ago?
Like, you think how far we've come. Those people are idiots. So I mean, I don't know if that's 14-year-olds on Twitter doing it for nibbles or
they're doing it for views around them.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone can say that with a straight face. I mean, look, we didn't know each other back when Arteta first joined, and we had that patch of we lost like 4 in a row, drew 1, won 1, then lost another, and lots of Arsenal fans turned on him. But I always said, look, we're on to something here. You could see what he was trying to do, and I think he dealt with some big issues like Bamyang and all these not serious guys, getting them out of the club, getting some proper workhorses.
He made some big calls. He made some.
Yeah, and I think, you think how far we've come in. Fine, he's been here 4 years, but to be disappointed with a draw against Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, I think it says it all. Like, we haven't been there in 14 years, and all of a sudden everyone's going, "Ah, it's a rubbish result." It's like we just drew with Bayern Munich. Like, have some. Let zoom out a little bit. Let's see how far we've come.
Bit of perspective.
But I think it's like but it is the whole. You're playing as one of the best teams in the league. If you do bottle it now, not bottle it. I mean, it's a close title race. But if you play like you did in that second half against Villa, I think then people would be like, "Okay, great, we've built and we've been amazing." But that's 2 years in a row now. We've not answered any of the critics, and we've done exactly the same thing twice. Then I think it would be fair to ask a few questions like, do we have the right mentality?
But I think you're spot on there with like last year you can call it a bottle because we just did capitulate. And look, a lot of that's down to the fact William Saliba gets injured and we've got Rob Holding that comes in that can't get a game for Palace. Like, you know, it's tough when you're going up against City, but in isolation, losing that Villa game, fine, we could have gone top, but like I say, we've just won the last 10, 11 games. If we bounce back now, great, but it's now whether we capitulate and whatever happens tomorrow night in the Champions League, it's what happens against Wolves away. I mean, which is tough.
You've got to get the win.
They've
taken some big scalps this season. It's going to be a tough game.
Yeah. On the fixtures, and I think what's happening, Arsenal are probably going to be playing before the others do. Does that put more pressure on them to make sure that they do win, to go back top?
I'd always rather play first.
You want to play first.
Get points on. Get points on the board.
Yeah. Because
that's what happened with
City playing in the FA Cup, right? This weekend.
Yeah.
Chelsea. I think Chelsea will do it. Not because of yesterday's result. If you look back last week. You
have far too much faith in teams playing City or going against City by the looks of things.
If I want it enough, I'll be like that. I'll be like that guy who keeps guessing it, and then when it happens, I'll be like, "I told you so."
It's because you want Chelsea in the final. That's what it is, isn't it?
Oh, imagine!
True. You want Chelsea in the final.
You've made a big assumption there, Pierce. A very big
Coventry.
You're assuming Man U are going to get to the
final. Come on, Coventry.
If we lose the
that
Coventry,
would be quality.
Jesus. But if it's Man United Chelsea, imagine the final will be 9-8 or something like that. Neither team can defend.
Cole Palmer hat trick.
Palmer hat trick. Haaland will probably come on and score because it's United, even if he don't play for Chelsea. Foden will get a hat trick. You know.
Talking of, you've mentioned two big names, and it's a big discussion at the moment. Saka, Foden, Palmer. I don't think Palmer gets recognised as much as Saka and Foden. And with
Yes,
Euros
I
coming
think
up
it's
as
his
well.
first season though. That's why.
Yeah, Saka's been doing it longer.
The other two have done it. The other two have
But-
been consistent.
I mean, I think in current, if this form continues, and he won't because it's Gareth Southgate and he always has his favourites, but Palmer should be playing a prominent role in the team in the Euros. I'm not saying he has to start every game, but if we get the first couple of games and Saka or Foden aren't quite looking good, I mean, I'd start Palmer from the off, but I'm a Chelsea fan, so I would. But I think Palmer's offering far more than Saka has. I think Foden's been quality, but I think he's offering far more than Saka has, and in big games as well. Whereas I like Saka. I don't think he beats a man well enough. He does score some. He scores a good amount of goals, but Palmer's scoring more goals. Palmer gets more assists.
I've not seen Palmer burning past players.
But I don't see Saka do that.
No, well, but I guess.
I mean, if Saka, if Saka's meant to be the more dynamic of the winger, and Palmer's perhaps a more creative winger, where's Saka diving past beating 3 or 4 men? I don't really see him do that.
I don't think that's his game, though. I mean, he's quite. I think in an Arteta system, it's quite rigid. Everyone's role, and it's a little bit like you remember Iron Robin used to do it. You know what he's going to do, but you just can't stop him because he's so good at it. And it's the same with Saka.
Robin was incredible at it, right?
But do you know what I mean? Like,
I don't think Saka can be in the same ballpark as Robin in terms of cutting in on that left foot.
He's 22, but I guess the point is like he's so good at what he does that there's nothing you can do about it. If he's going to cut in on his left, and yeah, if you give him
he's playing in a quality Arsenal team, and he's got less goals and assists than Palmer in a bang average Chelsea team. Yeah, penalties. Saka's on penalties.
No, I don't always buy that because Chelsea have got basically one outlet at the moment, and it's Palmer. So everything's going to him. When a team's struggling and one guy's playing well, it all funnels towards that guy, and that guy automatically gets the majority of the chances. Arsenal are more evenly spread. That's the thing. So he's got to be patient. This is the thing that in those teams, the better teams, better than United and Chelsea are at the moment, the winners normally, I'm not including Haaland and that, but it normally comes when the goals are well spread. If you look at the good teams of the past, goals are pretty well spread. Very rarely does a winning side also have the top goal scorer. It's quite difficult to do that.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. But also, how many games, like Chelsea have been bad in tons of games this season. That's why you are where you are in the league. And how many games has Palmer had where he's done fuck all? Do you know what I mean? He's been anonymous.
Saka, not that many.
Saka will have a quiet game, but he'll get an assist or he'll have an impact. Do you know what I mean?
Then
it's consistent?
I don't think I agree with that. I think if you
so are you saying that Palmer's a Division 2 player, League 2 player?
No. Look, listen, Palmer's class. I'm a big fan.
That's a yellow card.
What? That's what Keno said.
You've interrupted George.
Yeah, fair. All right, yeah.
George.
I think I mean, you say that Palmer has anonymous games. Palmer's got more assists and more goals. So therefore, literally by numbers, he has less anonymous games than Saka. He scored 8 pens, but since when's a penalty not been counted as a goal?
No, I know, but
it's not an argument. And they're big penalties as well. He scored 2 last-minute penalties against 2 big teams. Scored a penalty against Arsenal. And I mean, I can list off some big penalties that Saka's missed if you want. Euros.
We all remember
against West Ham last year. I mean,
but equally, Saka scored some big penalties. We beat Liverpool last season, and he scored the penalty to win it. Do you know what I mean?
All right. So
I just think that Palmer offers more to the team than Saka does, game by game. All Saka does is limp off in the 90th minute, pretending he's injured once he's dropped his
Palmer, he gets booted about for 90 minutes every week. But if Palmer wins the Golden Boot and he does it again next season, I'll yield. I'll say, yeah, do you know what? Start Palmer over Saka.
I think current. You play coming up to the big tournaments. You should be playing the players that are in the best form. And at the minute, Palmer is arguably the best player in the league on current form. Over the past 5, maybe more, 10 games.
Harry Maguire is great for England, right?
Yeah, but I'd never play Maguire.
There you go. But because why can't he take both?
When we're playing San Marino at home, yeah, he's great, but let's have it right.
Yeah, it's because 90% of the opposition are terrible that you're
Wouldn't Palmer be a good foil for Kane as well? That's all I'm thinking. And if it goes to penalties, if Palmer's scoring these last-minute penalties and he's got the confidence, like, we'll need him. So why not take them? Maybe sacrifice, instead of taking 4 forwards, you take 3 and Palmer.
It is a question. I know, like, this isn't FIFA, but can you crowbar all 3 of them in?
Well, that's what I was trying to work out. But then I think you either have Saka or Foden on the left, because all Palmer can play on the left, but he's definitely Saka and Palmer. I think both have to play. Palmer has to play right or centre. Saka is better on the right. Foden is probably the most dynamic out of the 3 in terms of moving across, I'd say. So maybe you could play him left, but then I don't know. They could try it. I mean, in terms of who's going to play on the left otherwise, Rashford.
Who's going to sit behind?
Well, you'd have Rice and Bellingham behind, but then you're not getting the best out of Bellingham either. It's a good problem to have. So many quality players.
It's like you can guarantee. We had Gerrard, Scholes, Lampard.
Yeah,
trying to wedge.
Lampard was never in that discussion, just for record. But, yeah.
Well, goals and assists say otherwise. Trophies say otherwise.
Goals and assists.
Trophies.
That 6-0's lit a fire under George. I love it.
but I think that if Chelsea can continue this way they're going to go over United. Potentially, yeah, but also it'll drive them forward. And if Palmer gets Golden Boot for next season, it will spur them on. And Chelsea,
maybe a big club comes in and buys him. Do you know what I mean? He's
just... Right now. Big week, Champions League. Any thoughts, predictions, Pierce?
I'm not massively confident, but as long as we just don't whimper out, as long as we go, like you said earlier, George, if we go, as long as we put in a bold performance, if we go for it, we don't just, melt, then I'll be happy. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I want to go through, and it's probably our easiest route to a trophy, but it's a very tough place to go. And as bad as they've been in the league, like domestic form, when you've got Kane dropping deep at Musiala and you've got Sane and Gnabry bombing on, you know what Kane's like. He's probably the best in the world there. That sort of drops back into like a quarterback position. And he just pings these balls, and they're perfectly weighted. And Sane and Gnabry are rapid, and what can you do? I mean, it might suit us to go to their place and sit in a little bit and try and avoid that happening. But I'm not as confident as I was before the home tie. But look, anything can happen.
I think with Bayern, you can get at them because I think defensively they're not that solid. But you look at that front sort of 4 with Musiala, as you said, Sane, Gnabry and Kane. Like, that is always going to cause problems. So I think, and especially on the counters, because they're quick. I mean, Kane's not as quick, obviously, but he's always been good in Spurs, a counter-attacking team. I think you're almost right. If you're going to be a little bit more reserved playing away, it could suit you a little bit more. And I think if you play like you did in the first half against Villa, and especially like the first few minutes, like the first half an hour against Bayern, you're going to have a good chance.
Yeah, we're well in it. I wish I could say with my chest that we're going to go and pump them, but I don't know. I've seen some nerves in Arsenal, particularly in Europe. I know we've got a few, mostly ex-Chelsea players that have been there and done it in Champions League, but a lot of the squad have never done it in the Champions League. Especially.
It also depends how Bayern react to losing the title for the first time after 11 years, right? How that plays on the, because there's players in there who don't know what it's like not to lose a league.
Yeah, but then Tuchel, he was on his way out of Chelsea, right, and things weren't going well, and they went and won the Champions League that year. I think that's right.
He's a great cup manager, Tuchel. It's like, if you look at his record in the cups, he got PSG to the Champions League final, lost against a very good Bayern team, came to Chelsea, won the Champions League, won the Club World Cup, won the Super Cup. He got us to like the Carabao Cup final, the FA Cup final. If you look at his record in cups, he's fantastic. In the league, he's not actually. He's never been quite as good. But for some reason, he can just turn it on in the cup, and he knows how to set up a team. I think it'll be a good game. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, right.
Is that the game you boys will be watching, or are you going to watch?
I'll have them both on, I think. But yeah.
Now
Yeah.
the million dollar question. The $1 million question, which I'm always going to ask: Premier League or Champions League? As of what happened
Ask him after
and
Saturday.
the weekend, Pierce, Premier League or Champions League now?
Premier League. Premier League. It's more difficult, and I just want to get. Like I said, I know I've said it, and George, you're right, and all the logic is solid. But I just want to win the Premier League. It's been 20 years, and it's so difficult to do. And I don't have to wait till Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp both retire to then win it. I want to go head to head with them and beat them.
I think it's great for the league as well. Just on that point, I think it's great for the league if somebody else wins it while they're both there. You know, while Pep and Klopp are there.
Colin, are you sure you're a United fan? Or are you secretly Arsenal? Because you talk crap on your own team, and you're consistently just snuggling up to Arsenal.
I'm a realist fan.
You recognise the tradition, class, and you get it.
No, you wouldn't like Arsenal.
It was for a long time. It was our greatest enemy, and now it's our only hope. You know, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi for us. It's our only hope for United is Arsenal stopping City and Liverpool winning the league, and I think it'll be celebrated by United fans all over. But we just need them to do it.
But going back to Pierce, technically, you're still in the Champions League. Right, you haven't lost a draw. You're still in the Champions League. You've Premier League. Going back to what you said, you're still in the title race, right? You're not out of it. So potentially, not going to say it's going to happen, but you could do the double.
We could.
Like Liverpool's quad.
We could. But
I mean, Bayern have got pain, right?
But we could. On paper, we could. And like I say, if we go and pump Bayern Munich 3-0 tomorrow, I will be telling everyone we're going to win the double. Like I am, I'm like most fans. I'm fickle and stupid. But I think, do you know what? There's a caveat to the answer that I wanted to mention. If it didn't look like we're probably, if we get past Bayern, we'll have to play 2 more fucking games against Man City. I'd probably say Champions League. I don't want to play City again twice. I really don't. It's horrible. That is the worst fixture in the world. It's so tight and tense, and they're just horrible to play against. You just spend so much time defending and banked in, and it's rank. I really don't want to play City twice in the semis. Yeah. And I think I said it before, but I think when English teams meet each other in the latter stages of European competitions, it takes a lot out of you. There's so much.
It's true. Definitely.
So mentally draining, physically draining. I feel like it's
so you'd rather play Real Madrid?
I'd much rather play Real Madrid. Yeah,
it's just more exciting as
well, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree. You always want to play the European teams anyway. But
Real
Madrid are a good proposition.
Oh, drop me out. Yeah.
I've got a question for Killer, actually. So, tough week for Liverpool. Boshed by Atlanta in your own backyard, 3-0. Oh. And then Palace tore you apart in the first half of that.
Let me stop you there.
That's dissent, ref.
Look, that is. I agree because I am the ref here. I'm the ref.
I was just asking the ref a simple question. Tough week.
No.
You've gone from potential quad a few months ago, Klopp's farewell tour, to looking like you might have got a dodgy Carabao Cup final against the worst Chelsea team in the last 20 years. I don't know. Like, how does that feel? It's a question. It's not a backtrack.
No.
Before you answer, Killen, in short, George is saying you've gone from quadruple to quadriplegic.
But yeah, it's been very disappointing.
Hopping along on that one cup, the one.
The farewell tour is slowly just.
Yeah,
that's all I've got. I'm a United fan.
No, very disappointing, right? This whole disappointing week from beginning of last week to the weekend, but Liverpool just have to bounce back. It's 3-0. We've done it before against Barca. Can we do it again? Probably not. I think
if it was at home, I'd say
different. Yeah.
Gone, but
I don't think we will, and I think you can from our performance. We're getting tired, right? And
I think it's a huge week. It's huge for you, and it's in the same way we're saying it's huge for Arsenal. This week, next 3 days, as you say, make or break. If you lose against Bayern and then lose against Wolves, suddenly it could be same for Liverpool. If you bounce back against Atlanta and you get a good win, who are you playing on the weekend?
Check.
And if you get a good win there, then suddenly you could be back in it.
Fulham,
and you boys will go top because
Fulham away.
You two teams will be
Fulham away
two again.
Game.
Yeah, that is tough.
Fulham are decent at home.
They're good at home. That's the one game this season that we got well beaten. Like we've had a few moody games, like against Newcastle, didn't deserve to lose. Villa away, I don't think we deserved to lose. But the Fulham game, we were beaten comfortably.
What about Villa at home?
Well, again, that's one of them, innit? It's the same as the West Ham game. We lost to West Ham.
Trying them today. George is on it today.
Liverpool.
That's a warning.
We weren't pumped, were we, against Villa? Like we were. It's not like that. We were backs against the wall, just getting peppered. But against Fulham, they run us.
Second half though, Villa controlled that. That was getting inevitable.
We looked,
but that's more credit to Villa. Like they stuck with their game plan, even though in the first half it was a little bit tough. They stuck with their game plan, played out. And they for all credit to them.
They played Thursday night as well. I thought we were going to walk.
Yeah,
Thursday night.
You would. And they got a few injuries as well.
By the way, I don't know if you've just seen PSG equalised and Barca are down to 10 men.
Yeah, I saw that. You see the red card? Wow. Pretty dodgy, I'd say.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's all for
Saudi
Arsenal.
Saudi money.
All for Arsenal to take now.
Yeah. It's, and then, well, George, we play you next week, didn't we? Midweek.
Yeah. I've got no expectation for that game, so.
Like I said, if you played like you played on Monday, you'll beat Arsenal.
Imagine a Cole Palmer hat trick while Saka limps off in the
just for some perspective, they played Everton.
Yeah.
Sean Dyche teams don't concede many goals. They've got a solid defensive record until Cold Palmer, the baller, the wonder kid came up against them and stuck 4 goals by them.
Until Jordan Pickford forgot his medication, yeah.
On that note, full time. Thank you very much.
Go, boys.
It's been a pleasure, boys.